Hang on a moment.
Alright geezers, Big Man Earth Apologist back with another terrific installment of Earth versus the World, Slop Plus, ... this week in ... .net, hosted by Earth Apologist, featuring Earth Apologist, an Earth Apologist production. In today's Breaking Truths, starting on a personal note here, Big Man Cord has been found alive, and he's been found alive, alright? I was worried, if you remember previously, that one of our oldest enthusiasts, truly one of the old guard, of the 8 or 9 people that tune in for this, he's without doubt one of the oldest. He's been there since single digits. He's been there since triple digits. That's a long story. We're not getting into it. YouTube.com shut me down because I spoke very gingerly that maybe something suspicious with Jared Fogle was going on. There's a foot-long conspiracy at Subway. Hebephile sex ring. We've done this song and dance so many times before. He was there from near enough the beginning. He jumped on board with the Gerard the Completionist just completed his marriage video, which went into fucking stellar. Okay, that was a viral smash hit for Big Man Earth Apologist. And he was there for it. Yeah, he was there. And we were worried. We were really concerned that they got him. You know, the black cars, the black helicopters, the, you know, to hurt me, they have to hurt someone I have watching my content. And we were worried that he'd been wheeled back to the nut house, that they were just going to lobotomise the fella, and it would be good night Vienna. And he'd only slightly enjoy these videos less. This content really is brain rot for adults, isn't it? But yeah, no, he was found alive. And he's watching the content, which I think is very good. I think it's heartwarming, really, that he's back now. And he's as nutty as ever, honestly. He was writing almost essays about his life and anecdotes about accidentally saying a racial slur. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful to have him back. And no doubt when I revitalise my podcast, Earth Apologist in ... I'll be honest, with Earth Apologist, featuring Earth Apologist, he will maybe do like a segment where he recites slam poetry he's written. Maybe we could do that. Maybe like as a segment on the podcast, he can wax lyrical with his hip hop flows. But yeah, that's the first truths there. Big Man called it back. In other truths, does this ever happen to you? You're walking through a vast, wide open field with several other people wielding hammers, and you come across a horse stuck in a log. You're thinking to yourself, it's happened again. This keeps happening. A horse stuck in a log in the middle of a vast, wide open field. You and your comrades, all wielding hammers, think, no, not today, God. And you take your hammers in unison, except one is sort of floating, devoid of any person holding it there. You think, no, we're going to help this horse and its rematerialised calves. Is it calves? Yeah, we're going to help them out. The 2/3 of them. Sometimes there are 3 of them. It's beautiful, really. The world really is a beautiful place when you get to know it. So that's beautiful. Heartwarming. 2 heartwarming segments there. In other truths, something less heartwarming.
I might do different times, so it could be like during the night or something. I still haven't figured that part out. Because I don't know if I want to be streaming when fucking Hasan's streaming. But I also might want to stream while Hasan's streaming because he deserves like a little competition. I think that's maybe a good idea. Especially if people see me as like the white Hasan.
Yeah, idubbz wants to be, in his words, Hasan's waiting room. I mean, why don't you just invite him round to fuck your wife at this point? She'd probably be up for it, knowing her. Right. This geezer, I've been following him on and off again, and sometimes off again. He's really taken a detour in his career. If you remember idubbz, Ian at idubbz, I believe he works there. He was famous about a decade ago for shouting racial slurs in public, shouting racial slurs at other people. He had a skateboard that he got out of the trunk of his car, boot. We call it boot, by the way. It was brilliant. The 14-year-olds that are maybe a little bit maladjusted in the world, they loved him for it. They love this guy dressing up as a police officer, jumping down from kitchen counters saying, "I'm gay." And it was brilliant. We loved him for that. And then, you know, he didn't want to say the racial slurs anymore. And that's a fucking outrage. That is a fucking unforgivable sin. So a lot of his old head fans want nothing to do with him. He's since courted a new audience of morally uptight charlatans who think they're saving the world by posting on social media. You know, the usual suspects, slacktivists, basically. Now, when Big Man Earth Apologist does his world-renowned Flooring for Peace protests against the genocide that's going on, applause-worthy. These people, however, they just say things on the internet. There's no actions behind it. But this geezer, he basically wants to be the white Hasan. I think that's a direct quote. Failing to realise Hasan is the white Hasan if and only when it benefits him. Hasan is, you know the guy. I'm positive you know him. He's the fella in the chair in the corner of someone else's video. That's him in the corner. That's him on a live stream, stealing someone else's content. And, you know, he's the fella that in the chair, in the corner, sometimes the chair goes solo. It's a little bit like Phil Collins. Sometimes when he's in that chair, he rants about the evils of capitalism from his very well air-conditioned, cushy Los Angeles penthouse. The irony's not lost on me. All right, people have branded him a Mercedes Marxist. That's probably close to being true, really, isn't it? But now idubbz, Ian at idubbz, he wants to be like the new Hasan, with none of the riz, with none of the aura. I don't think it's going to work out for him. He's got a very sort of Nickelodeon coded voice. You know what I mean? He sounds like some sort of creature you'd find in a kid's cartoon. He sounds like something you'd see on SpongeBob.
My wife doesn't let me have friends. She says it upholds the heteronormative, deeply problematic white patriarchy.
It's like, he sounds like a little SpongeBob deviant. In other troves, just about all Redditors were named after Adolf Hitler. And that's amazing, isn't it? That really does go to show you that history is events that have happened. And I'm going to be a little bit controversial here. I do find it quite ironic that the man responsible for rounding up the gays had one of the fruitiest haircuts I've ever fucking seen. No, really. Oh, wow. Do you want some stilettos with that haircut, Adolf? Do you want to have a stern talking to with my boss with that haircut, Adolf? No, really. He's slaying it a little bit. No, he really was the first Karen, wasn't he? And the thing about Hitler, you know, some people may unsubscribe after hearing this. I don't get the hype. I don't get the hype. He was a drug-addicted, mentally ill, 5'7" manlet. That's what he was. He was a manlet talking about the master race. He wanted peroxide blonde-haired, blue-eyed, piercing, Kurt Cobain blue-eyed Adonises. Right, Ken from Ken and Barbie Adonises. And he was none of those things. He wasn't even German. You know, people, even non-Nazis, even like the non-skinhead contingent, they really they stan his speeches. They say, yeah, all right, he killed a bunch of people, but he was really great at the speeches. And I tune in, fair enough. You know, I'm not just going to take people's word for it. Fine, I will see for myself. And I watch his speeches. First things first, he might as well be speaking another fucking language. Don't understand a word he's saying. Worse than that, though, is he's screaming. He's essentially throwing a tantrum like an 8-year-old to raucous applause. The Germans are a shifty fucking people. They really are. If they'll clap for that, they'll clap for anything. I do not get it, you know. I mean, the haircut alone. Do you want one of those little fucking Shakespeare earrings with that, sweetheart? No, really. One of the fruitiest men to ever eradicate gay people. It's really confusing because my fiancée, she's German, she fucking hates the Jews. She doesn't get the hype, right? I mean, she has her own gripes with the Jewish people. I find it deeply unsettling. I think it's really unfortunate for her, for the people around her. She's spoken at length about how uncomfortable or uncosy seeing Jews in an airport make her feel. I think that's really unfortunate. I, of course, I completely condemn that. Hatred for any group of people has no place on my channel unless it's people from Denmark, cyclists, a large swath of the American populace. I mean, the list does go on, to be fair. Grown adults whose like number one hobby is anime. Come to think of it, there are quite a few groups of people I endorse hatred of. But the Jews are not one of them. Let me make that clear. I don't hate people on race or gender or, you know, genre or any of it. But she has an issue. She has some very rough statements on Jewish, to quote current President Donald J. Trump. That being said, though, she's a born and blood, proper fucking Aryan German. She does not get the appeal of Hitler. So comment below. What's the appeal of Hitler? I've tried to get the hype, right? I've tried to buy the hype of this guy. But he looks ridiculous. He sounds ridiculous. And he's a 5'8" little man. He's a little man, goose-stepping about. He'd look better with stilettos. He really would. In other truths, oh, this is old. This one's out of date, but Luigi Mangi one was recently spotted. Well, I say recently, about a month ago he was spotted. Modelling for Sheen. And, well, if looks could kill, he's innocent until proven guilty. We just don't have all the facts. In other truths, steal a brainrot game. No, really. What am I reading? Steal a brainrot game has broken all-time high concurrent player records. Roblox topped out at 23.4 million, while Fortnite reached... Is that 500,000 or 500 million? It doesn't say. Is that over 500,000 full stop? Or is that 500,000 million? I don't know. I'd imagine it's 500,000. Because 500 million's fucking insane. I don't think there's that many 12-year-olds on planet Earth currently. So, yeah, no. What do I think about this? I'm not going to be one of these wank battlers on the internet wagging their finger and looking down their nose at the children and what they find entertaining. Because the very same people, you know, snorting at the sort of nonsense, the colourful flashing lights, jingling car keys in front of a cat bullshit kids are entertained by these days is really no different to the MLG no scope blaze it compilations we used to watch at that age. Smoke weed every day. Like, I loved that shit when I was about 12 and I grew up. You know what I mean? We grow up. No doubt the Gen Alpha kids will grow out of the skibidi sibao bullshit. But let them have it. You know what I mean? They're not hurting anyone. It's better than the fucking elsagate bullshit. We do have truths relating to that, by the way. It's better than that stuff. It seems fairly safe for work. It's a little bit surrealist. Dare I say, it's a revival of the Dada movement, yeah? Skibidi is Dada, and I will release a wank battler video essay on that. But it's always been this way, and we never learn, evidently. You know, adults in the 50s were wagging their fingers and scoffing at, you know, the teeny boppers and the teddies and the rockers with their drive-in movies featuring that fucking troublemaker James Dean, and their diners and their hip new slang. I can't think of any 50s slang, but you get the point, right? People in the 20s very much saw flapper girls the way we see e-girls now. I've said it. You can quote me on that. Bella Delphine is the flapper girl of today. There you go. And you can quote me on that. It's the same thing. And we never seem to learn that, you know, the things we found entertaining as kids can just as easily be put under the same microscope. And we would see the same culture. Do you like that? Yeah, that's a germ joke for all the biology heads out there. That's a germ joke there. No, it's the same thing. It's just a different form of it. And, you know, I've seen this stuff. Apparently Stealer Brainrot is like, it's like an Italian offshoot of the more, you know, Americanized Brainrot content. You've got this Woody from Toy Story nightmare facsimile on screen now. You've got this like shark with Nike decades on its fins. And like, I don't pretend to get what's to get about this, but I don't deny there's something to get. And no doubt the Gen Beta kids, the kids that come after these Gen Alpha twerps, they'll be laughing their asses off at fucking hex codes. You know what I mean? They'll find a certain shade of fuchsia fucking hysterical. I'm calling it now. This is the absurdism. We're in the absurdist era of brain rot memes. Next is minimalism. Next is like absolute bare minimum, bare essential nonsense. I guarantee you, dear viewer, the kids that come up after the kids we have now will be laughing at hex codes, all right? And again, quote me on it. In other truths, this is a heartwarming one. We've got quite a few heartwarming ones, haven't we? I Show Speed. Nice Mr. Speed meets with one of his fans. And, you know, I like Speed. He very much is the real life Forrest Gump. And he's got real humanity to him. You know what I mean? He's not like me. He's not like all of your other favourite fucking creators that are full of bile and hatred and venom for their fellow man, for their fellow human. But he, you know, he seems to have real fucking love for his fans that put him where he is. And honestly, if you come here to hear some dickhead with an internet connection ragging on all the popular stars of the day, you're going to be disappointed, I'm afraid, because I've got not a bad word to say about the geezer. He's correct on the Gaza situation. He's he seems to be a nice lad, and he really is the real life Forrest Gump. Exhibit A, I did a short on this. I posted a short on this. Honestly, where's he going to end up next? In other truths, I'm not doing too much politics on this one. I try to keep my political correct takes on. Honestly, that is my affiliation. I'm politically correct because all my takes are correct. The irony again never lost on me. The same right wingers whinging about, you know, being fired for screaming jigaboo in a public place are the very same people calling for blood at people on the internet being irreverent about Charlie Kirk's recent assassination. You can't have it both ways. Either cancel culture's bad and we shouldn't target people's livelihoods regardless of the things they post on social media, or cancel culture's good and we should go after people we disagree with. Which is it? In other truths, this is, I guess, the headline. I've been talking about this on and off for over a year now. Ads here on YouTube. Apparently they're also on TikTok now. They're infesting TikTok, according to my much suffering German fashion model fiance that I kind of just called a raging anti-Semite 10 minutes ago. Can you defame your significant other? Is that possible? That would be one hell of a court trial, innit? Who needs couples counselling when you could do it in front of a jury? Yeah, no, this issue has been plaguing the website for a while now, and they've ripped me off, but they're doing it arse backwards. If you remember, in my inaugural episode of the podcast that I inevitably will bring back under a new banner, Big Man Earth Apologist presents I'll Be Honest with Earth Apologist, featuring Earth Apologist, an Earth Apologist podcast. If you remember, in the very first episode of that podcast, I shared with you, my wonderful succulent view piglet, my $1 billion business idea, right? Porn website. Okay, hear me out now. Porn websites don't advertise with safe for work advertisers. I'm talking McDonald's, I'm talking Ferrari. Why not? Okay? Because think about it. Really think about it. This is Pavlovian conditioning 101. If you can get the viewers of this smut, this absolute filth, to associate their pleasure with your product, you will have a consumer for life. Think about that. Really think about that. If you can time it so right on climax to your, I don't know, your midget interracial hardcore gangbang, you hear right on impact, and then all of a sudden, right, you're in the throes of post-nut clarity. You're feeling really quite dirty about yourself. You're feeling like a naughty little man. Not those naughty little men. Though, not the naughty little men manhandling your hypothetical wife. I'm not talking about them. Right? You're in the throes of post-nut clarity. You're probably a little bit peckish. I saw you. You really did break a sweat there. All of a sudden, you're peckish for McDonald's, and you don't know why. So you rush out, you get your jacket on, you essentially waddle to the McDonald's across the street with, you know, the aftermath of what you just did ever so slightly trickling down your inner thigh as you order some, I don't know, chicken McFinger blast, right? Whatever they're selling there these days, I don't know. I don't partake in American culture. Why don't they do that? Why doesn't Pepsi or Dr. Urker advertise on Pornhub? I'm so fucking serious. Because imagine if you had adverts before, during, and at the end of the video. And then, not immediately, it's never immediate, but eventually you will form a link between your pleasure and their product. And it will culminate in an uptick in sales. Think about it. Okay, so that was my idea. My $1 billion idea that no doubt a decade from now Michelin will fucking steal from me. Yeah, the Michelin man, very much the definition of fuckable in my opinion. Right? They've done it wrong. YouTube has done it wrong is what I'm getting at. Because here we have a safe for work website advertising not safe for work material. No. Wrong. Tactical blunder. You swap it. Swap them around. Safe for work advertisers on not safe for work platforms. Think about it, please. Think about it. Imagine, right? Because if every time you climax to whatever the fuck floats your boat, you see the logo of Adidas, or Adidas if you really are that much of a fucking pervert, eventually you are going to associate your pleasure with Adidas, and you're going to buy yourself some nice new trainers. Yeah? What's the sex equivalent of blood money? Spunk money. Yeah? That's what it is. You're going to buy yourself some new trainers with the spunk money. that, you know, Adidas or Nike have rubed out of you. So think about it. If there are any, you know, Howard Hughes types, if there are any Ted Turners in the audience, think about it. Safe for work product placement across the front page of browsers. Yeah, imagine. But yeah, no, this is of course concerning depictions of children. I'm not talking like, oh, you call Kim Plausible a little bit tasty and you get a dissertation on Reddit about how you're a child molester. I'm not talking that. I mean like actual children. I'm talking if you showed these characters to people who have no idea what they are, they will correctly identify that in the show, they are an 8-year-old. These are like actual children. This is lolicon bullshit being advertised on the platform. So, yeah, I've done this spiel 2 or 3 times now. You're having to dance with bells on your feet. You're having to use cutesy euphemisms like unalive and grape. Meanwhile, this filth is playing before, during, and at the end of every single video you fucking make. So you have every right to be outraged. This is evidently advertiser friendly. But you, I don't know, you said a naughty word 44 minutes and 58 seconds into your video essay. You get perma-banned. So, yeah, of course, it's not a real website. It's not to be taken seriously. This website's a joke. And I've, you know, again, big man Earth apologist. Last honest man on the website, proven right again. In other truths, oh god, yeah, I was meant to cover this, but I really couldn't give a fuck. Chibireviews, he's some sort of grown adult that spends most of his time talking about kids' cartoons, and he had some legal issue, so he went to givesendgo, which I swear was like the right-wing answer to go fund yourself. Right, he couldn't go fund himself, so he went to givesendgo instead. And unlike Go Fund Yourself, this website allows you to basically take the bag at any point. You don't have to deliver. You can just take the bag at any point and go AWOL. And that's what happened here. Jacob Siebers is his real name, and he got out the world's smallest violin crying about, I don't know, it was some legal issue he came into, and he crowdfunded his audience, and he took that money, gave no update, and blocked people asking questions about it. He's a deviant, he's a suspect, he's only got 3 fingers on one hand, which is really fucking bizarre. Apparently he's got medical issues. Well, evidently, look at his fucking icon. He's only got 3 fingers. In other truths, oh, more AI slop. This time, Charlie Kirk draped in an American flag with about 800 stars. Fuck me. Maybe Trump was successful. Maybe he took Greenland and all of the EU. Yeah, no. This is more slop. Am I the only one who finds this a little bit disrespectful? I find this more disrespectful than the people making light of his assassination. Because, I mean, you know, as someone who knows Big Man JC personally, I actually went out drinking with him the other night. He's in great spirits. He's always in great spirits, bless him. And we were talking about the Charlie Kirk assassination, and obviously, being the hippie he fucking well is, he found it unfortunate. He found it unfortunate that a man profited of sowing hatred and division among God's children. But, you know, I'm a little bit offended on Kirk's behalf, on Christ's behalf, because this has got to be blasphemy, right? This has got to be some degree of sacrilege. And it looks nothing like him as well, by the way. Jesus, identical. As we all know, Jesus is a white American man. But that looks nothing like Charlie Kirk. Rest in power, Charlie Kirk. No. The discourse around the Charlie Kirk situation, exhausting, but to be expected. And yeah, if you saw the video of his now widowed wife just ever so slightly fondling his corpse, doing some sort of weird ASMR. Oh, you're beautiful. You're the love of my life. I will avenge you. I swear to Christ, it's really fucking bizarre. She did like a little speech at the podium by his desk, now empty, talking about how the streets will flow with the blood of non-binaries. His work is not done. His work has just begun. It was really fucking bizarre. Although it is what he would have wanted. Yeah, these are the people you died for, Mr. Kirk. These are the people you gave your life in the defence of. Not minorities, not the queers, not the fruity community, but these people. These people do not give a fuck about you. Trump was asked multiple times how he's holding up with the tragic demise of one of his most staunchest supporters. And he went on some fucking diatribe about how lovely his patio is. So, Stephen Crowder, of course, his wife did leave him. He, quick as a fucking whippet in heat, he quickly changed his bio to read something like the second most popular conservative talk show to the number one conservative talk show. Again, these are the people you ally yourself with. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't give a fuck about your death. They only care as much as they can weaponize this man's death to, incite retribution against trans people. That is the only use Charlie Kirk has in death. So, yeah, don't get me started on that, dear viewer. Another one here. Some fucking charlatan on the internet, JP Withers, I don't fucking know what his name is. He's one of these JP Withers, where the fuck did that come from? He's one of these fellas. Todd Grande, I think his name is. Todd Grande, again, he purports to be some sort of psychoanalyst. He isn't. He's a fucking LARPer. He's a dickhead with an internet connection. He's got just a few more qualifications than I do. So he flirted with right-wing narrativizing around the Charlie Kirk assassination. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. Apparently he's also a misogynophobe. I've got no evidence to back that up, but it wouldn't surprise me. He strikes me as a very up himself kind of individual, really. In other truths, a 35-year-old teenager gets diagnosed with skin cancer after wearing acrylic nails, and it does worry me. I was 25 years old this year, and as a 25 year old, it worries me. The food we eat, the water from our taps, all of it's fucking poison. In other truths, this one's just a little bit silly. Jamie Oliver, please do not open this door. Imagine that. You're getting your groceries, you're having a little late night shop, getting yourself one of those Sainsbury's takeaway style pizzas. I love those. Oh, no, it's a guilty pleasure of mine recently. I love those takeaway style pizzas they do at Sainsbury's. Cost an arm and a leg. They're like £5. £5 for a takeaway style pizza, but they are fucking worth it, mate. And imagine he's there, he's stocking up on junk food that he preaches out against, and he sees that. He sees Jamie Oliver, please do not open this door. If I were him, I'd be getting Final Destination style flash forwards, like, oh my fucking god, is there a hit out on me? Is someone coming for me? In other truths, I'm exhausted. I'm in bed doing this, and I'm actually tired. This is going to take about 12 hours to finish. In other truths, Jerry Seinfeld compares, quote, Free Palestine movement to KKK in surprise Duke appearance. David Duke? The irony would be spectacular if he brought on stage the definitive article David Duke of the Klan. Yeah, Jerry Seinfeld, he's a bloodthirsty Zionist. I've spoken about it before. He absolutely loves innocent women, children, the disabled, the elderly being fucking obliterated by the IDF. I'm not getting political here. I'm just going to state the facts. Hamas is a terrorist group. The IDF is a far more efficient terrorist group. Okay, no, believe me, amateur hour. Hamas look like fucking children's play, really, compared to the IDF. And, you know, I'm not one to goat. I'm not one to stan Hitler or Bibi Netanyahu or any of these questionable individuals. I'm really not. I will give Israel this, though. They are the fucking goats at terrorism. No one butchers women and children like the state of Israel. They are, like, absolutely the greatest to ever do it, frankly. The greatest to ever do it of the 21st century, at least. In other truths, we almost done. Cheers as Japanese ambassador downs pint of Bissa. Bayek, it's gorgeous. Oh, that's wonderful, isn't it? The Japanese, they're some of my favourite people. They really are. They're a little bit backwards culturally, but we love them for it, don't we? It's like that uncle at Thanksgiving. Yeah, all right, don't get him on the topic of race relations, but he's a joy to be around. In other truths, are we done? Are we almost done? Oh God, almost. Okay, how long have I done? How long have I done? Almost 40 minutes. All right, we're on track. I was about to find out I wasn't recording this entire time, wasn't I? Asmongold, King of Rodents, Asmon, has announced he is stepping away from streaming indefinitely to focus on his father, who is battling pancreatic cancer. And, you know, I've had choice words to say about King of Rodent, Asmond himself. I will say this, though. He has really stepped up to the plate. Speaking of plates, don't look at his. They are fucking filthy. No, really. This man is known for his hygiene and his cleanliness. And apparently, he's been helping out around the house for his ill father. And that's a beautiful thing, innit? He's been scrubbing up. He's been mopping the floors. Because if you've seen the way Asmond, I believe his real name is Zach Hoyle. That is his real name. If you see the way he lives, he's a germaphobe, frankly. He hates nothing more than living in filth. In other truths, don't want to do that. Yeah, baby announcement. Is it a boy? Is it a girl? I don't know, but it's covered in a piss filter. Yeah, this is sad. I really should have sat on the AI video I did not too long ago. People are marrying AIs, and apparently now they are procreating with AI. I would make a joke about Adobe Procreate, but frankly I don't have one. I've been recording non-stop for 40 minutes. All right, give me a break. Yeah, apparently this woman has married an individual who does not exist. He is in fact a chatbot. And they've now had a baby. And I'm with the baby on this, frankly. I'm fucking concerned. No, seriously, what the fuck is going on with the world today? In other truths, and speaking of which, you can see in real time the piss filterification of a person. Now, I can't be the only person who was watching this rooting for the woman to become Asian at the end. Spoilers here, she doesn't become Asian at the end. She does just become a slightly different black woman. And I mean, this is what it does, you know. She becomes some sort of, I don't know, some sort of homunculus type creature. Then she morphs into the sort of person you'd see working a till at the TSA. That's one for the American heads in the audience there. And no, there you go. You know, there you have it. In other truths, and finally closing. Oh my fucking god! This is why I don't do Slop Plus, dear viewer. It always takes it out of me. Naughty Osama, this fella, single-handedly again proving the horseshoe theory is real. It's not enough to deny hate crimes against Jewish people in the name of pro-Palestine. He's now, you know, attacking trans people. He's attacking horrible white trans people for, I mean, one trans person having an abhorrent take. I mean, you could just call it. You could just call it an abhorrent take and be done with it. This geezer, if you remember, I mean, he's a few cocks short of an orgy. He's mentally ill. He's a Fruit Loop. Most of the left disown him. They want nothing to do with the guy. This mischievous Obama individual. And God, I need a drink. I've been speaking non-stop for over 40 minutes. Yeah, don't care, frankly. Like/dislike, comment and subscribe. I'm the last honest man on the internet. Big man dum dum called. Welcome back. It just hasn't been the same without you, mate. I love you. God bless yourself. And as usual, I'm sorry you had to hear it from me. I think I've earned my cup of tea.